There is nothing called fate or luck. We just don't understand this system.
What is this new thing you're saying that there's no fate or luck?
Namaste. My name is Bidhan. 2012 is when I chanced upon Upanishads, and it had a profound impact on my life. Since then, I have dreamt to bring the key aspects of Upanishads in a manner which is simple, relatable, and implementable in our daily lives. So here we are with a set of videos to make spirituality simple. Welcome, Preeti.
Hi, Budan.
And to my audience, most welcome. And all those who are interested to be a part of our workshops, go ahead and put your names in the link which is there in the description below. All right. Do you remember what we spoke about? What is karma last time?
Yes, definitely. And I think the fact that you had mentioned that karma, it's not just these actions that give us good or bad outcomes. Karma is an entire system. It's that force and it's the patterns that run our lives, right?
Absolutely. And this system is continuously giving us results which we would have least expected, and we later call it fate. There is nothing called fate or luck. We just don't understand this system.
What? You've already started. What is this new thing you're saying that there's no fate or luck?
What do you think is fate or luck? What is that?
Luck is, let me say, maybe something good or bad that happens to us in an unexpected way.
Give me an example.
Maybe just us, me sitting here doing this podcast with you. I don't think in a million years I would have ever imagined that this is where my life would lead me. Or even just say siblings, right? They're born to the same set of parents, but then the kind of DNA, the kind of traits that they all inherit is completely random. It's by chance, right? It's the same DNA, but then...
Interesting. So you're talking just like any scientist, saying that the entire world is random. Everything is random. There is no meaning behind anything. So the earth, which has the perfect environment to have life, is random. You and I sitting here and talking is random. All our viewers who are watching us is all random, right? Perfect. So this is one point of view. Are you open to another point of view?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So the another point of view is that there is nothing which is random. There are things which is happening that we understand. We understand the cause and the effect. And there are things that we don't understand. We don't understand how it is happening. We do not have enough information to create predictability, and that is what we call random. Otherwise, there's nothing called random. We call anything random luck because we do not understand what caused this.
I mean, that sounds very complicated. Can you sort of simplify it a little bit so that people like me can understand?
Make it simple.
Yeah.
All right. Suppose if I drop a ball from here, you will say it's not a random event because you will exactly be able to predict how long it will take for it to reach the ground. You know about the gravitational pull. You know about the mass. So you will do your calculations. So you will not call it random at all. You have enough information to predict. Now let's take another example. Suppose you have eaten a food which upsets your tummy.
Okay.
And I erase that information from your head. Next day when you wake up, you will see that your stomach is paining.
Okay.
Now if I were to ask you, Preeti, why your stomach is paining, you will not be able to recall that you have eaten a bad food. You will start saying, hey, I have done everything right. I really don't know why my stomach is paining. It may be one of those days where things just do happen. It's one of those random events. Don't you think so? You will say that?
Yeah.
Because you do not have enough information to exactly pinpoint why something has happened to you, and therefore you call that thing as random. If you have enough information, you will not call it random.
Right. Okay.
So luck and fate is nothing but we are not able to explain the phenomenon, and therefore we put it under luck. If you're able to explain it, you will not be putting into luck. The point I'm trying to tell you is there is nothing called luck, there is nothing called fate, there is nothing called randomness. Everything is happening as per a system. There are certain things that we understand and a lot of things in the system that we don't understand.
Right. So you're saying that things that I'm able to comprehend, that is within my level of understanding, like for example, the ball falling, I know for a fact that it's not luck. A ball will always fall because of gravity. But things that I'm not able to put a cause and effect to is what I attribute towards luck and fate.
Absolutely. So if you look at karma, right, we define karma as a system. So the karma is giving outcomes at two levels. Okay. One is where you're able to see the outcome, which is called drishtaphala, something that you can see. And it is also giving the outcome which you are unable to see, which is called adrishtaphala. Then you're saying, how is that an outcome? What is happening in adrishtaphala is that you have created a potential of an outcome which will fructify sometime in the future, but you have created the potential that very moment. That is called adrishtaphala.
Drishtaphala, I get when you say direct outcome, I think I can get that. But what is this potential that you're talking about?
So if I were to ask you, when you say that, okay, this boy has the potential to become a cricketer, what do you mean by that?
You see some sort of inherent trait that the child might be a good cricketer.
All right. So you're seeing certain traits, and that traits will transform into him being a good cricketer in the future, provided right environment is in place, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But that trait is already there in the potential state. It has not fructified yet. It has not manifested yet. It will manifest in the future. If it does not has a potential, he will never become a cricketer in the future. He has that potential, right? The point what I'm trying to tell you is that every karma that I do creates a potential of a certain outcome that will happen in the future. So let me help you with an example. So there's a guy who wants to go to a party and he's excited about going to the party. He's on his two-wheeler, getting late, stuck on a signal. Suppose he decides to jump the signal. What will be the outcome? What will be the drishtaphala?
Probably he'll get caught by the cops, or worse, like maybe an accident or something like that.
Maybe he may reach earlier. Maybe he reach on time and he has a good time. We don't need to always think negative, isn't it? So the drishtaphala, the outcome of his action of jumping the signal, could be accident, could be caught by the police, or could be him reaching on time, having a lot of fun, nothing happens to him. All three scenarios are possible, right? Now, what is the adrishtaphala is what I'm going to ask you. So think about it. If he jumps the signal and he is not caught and he reaches on time, somewhere he's becoming comfortable with jumping the signal. So there is a potentiality which is created in his mind that it's okay to jump the signal. And therefore, next time when he jumps the signal again, he doesn't get caught. He will feel even more comfortable that it's okay to jump the signal. So do you see that there is a kind of a mental impression that is being created in his mind? That is called adrishtaphala. And sometime in the future, because he is becoming too risky with his decisions, he may find himself into difficult situations, either being caught or hitting someone or getting hit. Or that can also manifest itself into other aspects of life, that it is okay to break laws. Do you see this? One action has created an outcome that you can see, but it has also created a potential of another outcome which will manifest in the future, and that potentiality is called adrishtaphala.
Okay.
Something that you can't see.
Invisible outcome.
Invisible. So outcome hasn't happened yet, but you have already created the potentiality over there.
Right. So you're saying that every action we do,
yes,
has both a direct, which is a visible outcome, which is the drishtaphalam,
yes,
and an adrishtaphalam, which is sort of in potential state, which will manifest in the future.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
So let me again take some examples. and I will put you on let me create a setup for you. Think that you are coming back home after a day's work, hard work. You're tired. As soon as you enter your room or your house, your in-laws say, Preeti, we have been waiting for a cup of coffee. What will you do?
I will go make the cup of coffee.
You'll go make the cup of coffee. How would you be feeling at that moment?
Probably frustrated because I've also had a long day at work, little anger.
All right. So let me ask you, having gone and made a coffee, what was the drishtafala of this action? What was the visible outcome?
I made coffee and everyone is happy.
Everyone is happy. That's a drishtafala. Now, what is the adrishtafala is what you need to understand, that you said that you would have felt a little frustrated.
Yeah.
At that moment, you have created a mental impression of frustration. And therefore, for all you know, somewhere in the immediate or in the later future, this frustration may come out on your spouse, on your children, or back at your in-laws. It will build up. It will build its own momentum, because in that very moment, because you were unhappy, but you still went ahead and did something, so drishtafala is taken care of. But adrishtafala has started.
Okay.
Let's take another scenario. Suppose you come in and you've been asked for a cup of coffee and you tell your in-laws, look, I'm equally tired. Why don't you go and make for yourself? What is the drishtafala?
The chaos would have started there only.
There only. And what would have been the adrishtafala?
I think more stress, like I would have felt more stress because everyone is already stressed.
Yeah. So you would have again thought, what is it for once someone cannot go and make their own coffee? And that thought process would have led to multiple other events in the future. Scenario number 3.
Okay.
You come in, you're asked for a cup of coffee, you are actually in love with your in-laws, you love them like your parents. What will happen?
I will go and make a cup of coffee, maybe make one for myself also.
And chit-chat with them.
Yeah.
Drishtafala, everybody's happy. There's no drishtafala. You're in sync. How you feel, what you say, and what you behave, you're in sync. There is no drishtafala at all. Do you see this?
Okay. So only when there is a mismatch, you're saying there is another
There is another drishtafala which is coming.
Okay.
You may not always be in a sync. I'll give you another example. You are in your organization. Both you and your colleague are working very hard, and your colleague gets the promotion and you are not given the promotion. What will be the drishtafala? What is something that will happen to you immediately?
Some jealousy maybe?
Yeah, at that moment, what will you do? Drishta, something which is visible.
Visible, I will definitely congratulate them maybe.
And you'll keep quiet. You will not confront.
Not really get involved.
Get involved. You'll say, okay, on the face of it, that is the drishtafala. Now, in your mind, something else is going to happen. 2 things. One, you will feel that I deserved it. This person used politics or was a favorite of the boss, and therefore this person got promoted. That is one pattern of thinking.
Yeah.
Another pattern of thinking could be, this is not the right place for me. I don't think I will ever get the recognition I deserve. Okay, good for him or good for her. She got what she deserved, but I don't think I'm going to get it here. Yeah. Second pattern of thinking. Third pattern of thinking, what is it that she has or he has done to get the promotion which I have not been able to do? Let me figure that out and fix that. So you're seeing that there can be 3 patterns of thinking, and these 3 patterns of thinkings will create 3 different outcomes in the future.
Right.
You're seeing the adrishtafala, the power of adrishtafala, that the potentiality which you have created with the thought is not manifesting now, but it is going to manifest somewhere in the future. And when it manifests in the future, you will not even remember that this has happened because of the way you thought today. You will say I have just been a good luck or a bad luck. But no, it is the very moment you have manifested the future in this very moment.
I know I'm using this word a lot, but it's quite scary to think, Vedant, because you're saying that every action or even every thought that I may have is like a seed that is getting planted for something that will happen or may happen in the future. And that, because at that time we don't remember it, we are calling it as fate or we are calling it as luck.
Absolutely.
Wow. So no randomness.
There's no randomness. So again, I'll give you a real example. I've changed the names here. So there's a girl whose name is Maya. and she is in a home where the father is a dominating figure, highly successful, very well renowned in society, but his standards are very high. And if Maya used to get good marks, her father used to say, okay, that's good, but why aren't you the topper? If she used to do some good paintings, he used to ask, are you on the top? So Maya used to crave for his father's attention. Not that his father never loved her. There were beautiful moments where he used to pat her head and say, you are such a nice, beautiful girl. I like you a lot. But most of the time, Maya felt that she's not enough. Everything she used to do, it was never enough to satisfy her father. As a result, there is a pattern which got built into her head that I need to be really good, or it's really a struggle to get love from someone. Now, she really wanted to leave the house and lead an independent life because she was getting a little frustrated with the fact that she always felt she's not good enough. She went to the college and she met a guy, his name is Arjun. Arjun was very famous, quite liked by a lot of people, and they started dating each other. Arjun used to shower her with a lot of love, but Arjun had a specific tendency that whenever he used to ask her to bunk the classes, she would not do. If sometimes she will not be able to respond to his calls on time, and he used to get very angry saying that you do not care about me. He said, hey, you are putting weight on wrong places. So there were things that used to sting her. But then later Arjun used to say sorry to her and she used to melt. Somewhere she very clearly knew that the relationship is not good for her. But still she could not figure out that why is it that she gets attracted to Arjun even though she has to always walk on eggshells, even though she was so scared of him all the time. Later she met her friend whose mother was a counselor, and then she explained her the concept of trauma bonding. And Arjun basically had the similar traits like her father, and our nervous system or our subconscious mind cannot recognize between what is good and bad. It knows what is familiar and which is unfamiliar. So the patterns of Arjun was very familiar to her nervous system, and therefore she used to feel loved or attracted towards Arjun because it was similar to how her dad used to treat her. So it may not have been good for her, a good place, but she used to feel comfortable there purely because that was a known pattern. Not that she is responsible for that pattern, but she has inherited her pattern because of childhood. She met another guy, again, changed the name. His name was Karan. Very nice, good looking. But there was no drama in his life. There was no push and pull. There was no like, you did this, you did that. There was no emotional ups and downs. And she knew that he's a perfect match for her. But interestingly, she never felt attracted towards him. You see this?
Yeah.
You see the complication? And she used to always question, why not this guy? He's perfect. But I just don't feel that emotional connect because the nervous system always craves for what is known, and what has been known to her was the trauma bonding, that push and pull.
Right.
Even though that was not good for her. And what will happen is, if she's not aware and she's not able to break this pattern, she will keep on attracting similar kind of people in her life, and she'll think that I'm plain lucky. No, she's not unlucky. She's not unlucky here. And any amount of going to temples or wearing different kind of stuffs on your fingers will not help. You have to break this pattern. You have to break that karmic impression. Even though she is not responsible for the karmic patterns which she has inherited, the system she has inherited, but she needs to take responsibility of that.
Right.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
That our karmic impressions always puts up into situations which is very similar, and then we call it fate. It's not fate.
And we call it luck.
And we
it's
call
my
it-
bad luck.
It's
I
my
think
bad
that's
luck,
one.
no?
Yeah. So I think what you're saying is these kind of patterns are what create this karmic impressions. And at the end of the day, because we don't understand why this has happened to us, we just call it as this is my bad luck.
Yes,
But does that mean I don't have a say? Like, can I do something about this?
absolutely. And this is the beauty of it, that once you see karma as a system, once you identify your karmic patterns, you can directly intervene there and change it. Let's take an example here. We have all been speaking about gratitude.
Yeah.
What happens in a gratitude practice? Can you explain to me?
it can be a daily practice or a weekly practice, however you're doing it, but
Right.
we think of, or you write down something that you're grateful for.
All right. You write down few things which you have been grateful for, few things which has gone right in your life
Yeah.
today, so many, so and so forth. What is the direct outcome? What is the drishtafala of doing the gratitude practice?
There's a feeling, you start feeling good when you
In that
start
moment.
noting down all the things, because you're scanning through everything good that has happened. So automatically we start feeling good.
All right. What is the adrishtafala? An indirect outcome of gratitude practice.
I don't know.
Listen to this carefully. When you are practicing gratitude, you are continuously sending signals to your subconscious mind that not everything is bad in my life.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things which is going on right. It's just so that we have a tendency to look at things which are going wrong. So when you keep on feeding that information on a daily basis consciously to your subconscious mind, a new karmic impression gets developed that, hey, this world is not a bad place. The universe is not against me. There are a lot of things which is happening right for me. And when that subconscious programming happens, when the karmic impression starts changing, you suddenly start feeling confidence from inside. Then when you talk to people, you talk to people from a space of confidence, from a space of assurance, right? There you feel really good about yourself and the entire systems, because you're able to now see for yourself, not seeing, but feel that things are right. And once you start interacting with people with a certain level of confidence, things are bound to happen. Your level of resilience will also increase. Every failure that you see, you will not get bogged down by it into a problem. Rather, you will see it as a challenge which is thrown at you, which you need to overcome. So your entire attitude will change. And when that happens, you start seeing a lot of beautiful things happening in your life. But to an outsider, it will look you are plain lucky. That how come Preeti is getting all kind of good relationships in her life, all kind of good opportunities in her life? No, it's not happened overnight, right? You have just worked on the karma, which is a system. You have changed your karmic impressions. So this is the beauty of seeing karma as a system, and therefore you can change it.
Wow. Okay, this is quite intriguing, Bidan, and I think a lot of, from my own personal experience, as you're talking, a lot of things falling into place. So thank you. I mean, I am very intrigued with this topic. But then another question that's popped up is, in the example that you just gave of Maya, why was Maya put in such a family? Why was Maya born into a situation like this?
How does it matter, Preeti? But how did we inherit these kind of mental conditions or karmic impressions? Isn't a more relevant question is, how do we break this conditioning, rather than checking that why I was put into a situation like this?
No. I mean, I think I would still like an answer to the question. Don't evade the question. I mean, I'm sure everyone has that doubt of like, but what could she have done that she has been born into? I mean, this is not a bad situation to be born in, but there are people who are born in like worse situations of abuse and things like that. But why? Why does that happen?
All right, then you're putting me into a very controversial zone. So there are 4 kinds of karma: Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, Kriyamana karma, and Agami karma. And a lot of situations in our current life is on account of our Prarabdha karma. And it is not that we are punished for our deeds, it's just so that there are certain situations which are created in this lifetime so that we can outgrow it. And let's talk about these nuances in our upcoming session, because it will require a lot of time to bifurcate how this 4 karma works.
Definitely. So I'm definitely going to bring this up, and you know that I remember these things and I will keep bringing it up. But I think from today's conversation, my biggest light bulb moment, I would say, is this thing of how all our actions and our repeated actions sort of create habits. And these habits are what create our adhishtaphalam,
Yes.
which is in its potential state and will manifest sometime in the future, or may manifest sometime in the future.
Yes.
It's not luck, it's not chance, it is just your karmic impressions.
Absolutely. And they beautifully say it that every action that you do has the seed of potential happiness and sorrow.
Wow. Say that again.
So every action that you do has the seed of future happiness or sorrow.
Wow.
Because they're talking about the Adrisht Phala. And honestly, to our viewers, if you really want to be lucky, work on your Adrisht Phala or work on your karmic impressions. The question I want to ask you is, do we even know what our karmic impressions are? And if you know how to find out our karmic impressions are, please go ahead and put out in the comments below and let us know how you found this episode. Please go ahead, like it, subscribe it, and share it with all those who can benefit. See you soon.